Alright, welcome to another video of going over assignments, coding things in general, personal projects, that sort of thing. Specifically, I think for a while, I'm going to be looking over my old stuff from, goodness me, from grade 12, from high school. So, I made so far at least one video with that, like covering that, but now I'm going to cover the rest. So here goes. So here is a die game. Pretty simple, as you'd probably expect. So let's go scorecard first. So here you have a scorecard, so you got a name attached to it, and then round and overall. So basically what this game is you can roll a dice and then you get the amount of score rolled. So you roll a 5, you get 5 points for that round. And you can roll as many times as you want. But if you roll a 1, all those points are gone away if you don't decide to save them and end your turn. So if you roll 5 and then another 5, you get 10 points. But if you don't save and roll 1, then you get 0. It's the next person's turn. But if you roll those 2 5s, save, it's still the next person's turn, but you get those 10 points that you save. So that's what the round and overall is for. Then constructor here, didn't use it. Name, kind of what I don't like about how I did this. Specifically, first of all, I try to get rid of stuff that's not used. So this constructor, this name, or would probably not be in here. And then I also don't like that I did not follow the conventions. You can see we have get here, but we don't have set. So this isn't set name, this is keep name, and I do not like that I did not use those conventions. And then here, this I don't mind. So sides, this is unused, but I think either I've reused this dice from something else, or I thought, hey, I might want to reuse this. And either way, the amount of sides, even though it's not used, is a pretty good thing to have. So this unused, but I don't mind it so much with this one. With this, since this is just a get, I wouldn't mind keeping that, even though I never used it. But this constructor, I probably would mind. And then here we have the you construct it with a side, and then just get a random number. And then you can kind of see that even though I have the number of sides, for some reason I don't use it in the actual roll, so the amount of sides does not matter. Obviously, in this case, you can't set it because this is never used, but still, obviously, I would make that much better now. So here is the actual main thing. I would probably split this up a little more. Maybe I would, because there's two options you can play versus a player or a computer. So I think maybe I wouldn't have these necessarily as separate classes, but maybe I just have like rules as a function, and then the two game loops, player versus player or player versus computer, as separate functions as well, I think. So this, I'll try to keep this part short, but you can see welcome to the game. And then we have a do while, so don't find myself using those very often, but basically just a while loop, except for it goes at least once. So in this case, it is useful. It's just a matter of, yeah. And also, specifically, it is kind of pointless because you can see I use the do while, but I essentially use it as a normal while loop because you can see this is always true and then you break, which is something that you would normally do with a normal while loop, where for a do while you would want it happens at least once, which, like I said, this already would happen at least once. And then you would have some sort of thing that breaks you out of it. And then here, there's some just repetitive, see, uh, duplicate conditions, as well as, I'm trying to find it, but this is always true. So, that kind of thing. And there's another one. Yeah, two string, repetitive two string. It's already a string. So simple stuff like that doesn't necessarily make the code worse. I already mentioned like how I would make it better, but that stuff is just like a readability thing more so. So here the rules are simple. I explain that, and then I don't got someone else here to play with me, and it's still the same game. So I'm just gonna do player versus computer. Actually, what I want to do is find the code for how the computer decides. Because, yeah, so if it's simple, so we got a math random where it is no AI, it's just the computer randomly decides if it wants to stop using basically 25% of the time it will stop, 75% of the time it won't. So there's someone at the door. So, anyways, what I was saying is that since this is a 1 in 6, so 1 in 6 chance to fail, and this 25% of the time decides to stop, for this it works out pretty well. But normally, if you wanted this to be like a more proper game, you would make that more smart, basically. So, also another thing that I would do differently. So I'll show it. So that's fine. Oh, I'm Jeremy T apparently. But here, see, do you want to roll or stop? You have to type the entire word. I don't like that. I would just do like, do you want to roll, and then brackets 1 or maybe R. And then the same thing for stop, 2 or S. So see, here's the game. So I got a 4. Let me roll again. So now I got a 6, so that's, or I didn't get a 6. I got a 2, so the total is 6. I need to sneeze, nobody needed to hear that, so. Yeah, so my total is 6, so let's risk it, let's roll again. Got a 4, let's risk it, roll again. I don't know if I said, but 50 is the total. And I need to sneeze again that time. And I might again, I think I do. Also, good thing I sneezed because I just realized that my camera is in the way, so let me just, that's the video. I'm up here now. So, anyway, I will show this. Like I said, I've been rolling, so 4, 2, 4, 6. So let's stop now. We're at 16. So here's the computer. Oh, and then I have a typewriter effect here, so computer's deciding what to do next. And that was just kind of so it doesn't all like jump at you. And then also another thing is that or go back, this is so it doesn't jump like a block of text at you, so that's why I did that typewriter. And then here my turn is just automatically over because you know it's your turn. Obviously you don't want to just go 0 points, so you roll at least once. So since I started with a 1, I just immediately lost. Same with the computer. So let's just try to win or have somebody win. So that's 12. Let's do one more stop. So that's 36 for me. And computer, let's see. Computer turned it out over. So roll, like I said, that's another thing I would probably do. I would make it so that you could change the score that you have to get. So in this case it's 50 and it's always 50. And then I'd also make it so maybe you automatically stop if you get 50. But yeah, pretty simple. Not much else to say on this one other than what I already have. and see you next time.